The San Francisco Giants get a huge series victory versus the Milwaukee Brewers by a final score of 8-3. And man, the offense absolutely exploded yet again. The Giants are red hot and they are continuing playing their best brand of baseball. That is now 7-2 in the month of July for your Giants, and they have won 9 out of their last 12 games. And so this has just been so much fun to watch. The transition from the team that we saw in the first couple months of the year to what we're seeing right now, it is just absolutely instrumental. And Tyler Beede got the start for your Giants in this one. And Beede is just continuing to pitch better and better with each start. In the outing today, guys, he had effective command. And one of the things that Beede has been doing of late, he has been able to add a fourth pitch to his repertoire of pitches. And so now he's got a fastball, he has a changeup, has a curveball, and the fourth pitch that he has added is a slider. And over the last 2 starts, he has started to use that slider more. Now, his previous start, I believe he used the slider around like 10 or 15 times or so. And then in this outing, he threw it 23 times, throwing it a lot early in the game. And I think this is going to be a huge, transition to success for Tyler Beede. And it's another pitch to throw the hitters off balance. And, there's been times with Beede that he hasn't had his changeup, hasn't had his curveball. So, it can be tough to pitch in those kind of scenarios because if you only have 3 pitches, 2 of them aren't going for you. Now you're only throwing with the fastball. If you have a slider and maybe you're just a 2-pitch guy at that point on a given day, depending on, what, because you never know what you're going to get coming out of the bullpen. So this has just been huge for Beede to add this fourth pitch now with the slider. And I think we're going to see him continue to rely on that. It could be a pitch he can use to, steal a strike on the first strike or even get that below the zone and get hitters to chase. And we saw him do that a lot in the outing today versus the Brewers. This was very huge for Beede, as in that first inning, he did get into some trouble, and we have seen him at times this year, really struggle early in the game, and then now, you see a 3 or 4 run cricket spot put up on the board, and so he really battled through adversity in that first inning. He was able to limit the damage and only allow 1 run in that first inning, and so he went deep into this game, going 6 2/3 innings, guys. Allowing 7 hits. He allowed 3 earned runs, but the big category was no walks, and that is his second straight start that he has not allowed a walk. He did give up a home run in the outing, and now his ERA is 5.44 on the year. Beede has been whittling down that ERA. It balloons early in the season due to some bad outings, but again, we have been seeing Beede really develop into, just an amazing pitcher. He has come a long ways. He was a former first-round draft pick for your Giants way back in 2014. And so some people have been throwing around the label of draft bust when it came to Tyler Beede. And so I think that's a label that, every athlete kind of battles through things differently, but I think you can't allow the outside noise to get in your head, and you just got to focus on, doing your job out there. And in Beede's case, just hit your target, make good pitches, and, go there, have confidence in your stuff, and have trust. And, the big thing is the command for Tyler Beede. So it's just been amazing to see him get control of that, and, hopefully that is going to lead to many more excellent starts and huge amounts of success into the future. Now, the Giants were opposing Jhoulys Chacín, a former nemesis that we know from his days with the Colorado Rockies. Now, Jhoulys Chacín went 5 innings in the outing. He allowed 4 hits, gave up 1 earned run, allowed 2 walks, struck out 5 batters, and did allow a home run versus the Giants. And so now let's get into the offense, guys. We had multiple Giants have multi-hit games in the game today. Brandon Belt, he took over the position of left field today. So Bruce Bochy was trying to get Pablo Sandoval's bat into the lineup, the Kung Fu Panda. He was in the lineup at first, and we saw Belt, and he was in Milwaukee, a place where he got the famous Baby Giraffe nickname. how can we forget, guys? Back in 2011, that was a very interesting time back then. And so Belt getting it done. He went 2 for 4, scored 2 runs in the game, worked a walk, and so, you know, he does what Belt does best, and that's get a lot of pitches out of the pitcher, tire him out, and get that pitch count up. So really good for Brandon Belt there. Now hitting 240 on the year, starting to get that average back up as Belt had been struggling a little bit of late. Kevin Pillar continuing his hot streak of hitting, guys. He went 2 for 4 in the game today with an RBI. He is hitting 246 now on the year. And Donovan Solano, he got the start today over Joe Panik, day game, so probably giving Panik a day off. And, you know, the Giants did not miss a beat with Solano starting. He can play multiple positions. He can play shortstop, second base, so he does offer some versatility. He can definitely even possibly play third base, and that leads into another discussion because I guess Evan Longoria is going through some plantar fasciitis in his foot. So tomorrow for the doubleheader, as the Giants are going to be going to Colorado, we don't know whether Longoria is going to be able to make a start at third base. And the Giants have had some injuries right now, as Alex Dickerson, hot hitter that we've been talking about, he's been nursing a bad back a little bit. So Giants definitely looking at, again, Solano can provide versatility. He can play third base, so that'll definitely prove very valuable. And he showed what he can do as he went 2 for 3 in the game today, scoring a run, knocking 2 RBIs. And in his short stint of playing time, Solano is now hitting over 300 at 307 on the year. And Tyler Beede, he had a multi-hit game. He's getting it done on the pitching side and the hitting side for your Giants. Always nice when, you know, you can help your own self out with the bat. And so Tyler Beede with his 2 hits, the big one coming in that 6-run 7th inning. That's right, guys. The game was a close one. It was a 2-2 ball game. Till that 7th inning when the Giants exploded for 6 runs in the top of the 7th inning. It was a revelation to see. And so Tyler Beede, he knocked a go-ahead RBI single in that 7th inning to give the Giants a 3-2 lead. So really great game with the bat, and he scored a run also. Now, the scoring got started in the bottom of the 1st inning when Yasmani Grandal, he hit an interesting fly ball, and Pillar didn't see it, essentially, and Christian Yelich was on first, and so Yelich, you know, he went kind of halfway, and the ball fell, and then Pillar made the throw to second, and Giants were able to get the out at second, but a run came in to score on that line out by Yasmani Grandal, or on that hit that fell, I should say, and that gave the Brewers a early 1-0 lead. But again, Tyler Beede would settle things down. He would limit the damage, only allowing the 1 run in that 1st inning. And then as we go to the top of the 2nd inning, you see the Giants offense, they answer right back as Donovan Solano, he hits a sacrifice fly. So nice situational at bat for him, and that tied the game at 1. Now, in the top of the 5th inning, Brandon Belt hits his 11th home run of the season to give the Giants a 2-1 lead. And that is huge because Brandon Belt had been struggling of late. So really good to see him, explode for a home run. He's having a great season. Could be on pace to hit 20 home runs. Knock on wood that he stays healthy. So really excellent at bat right there. And in the bottom of the 6th inning, the very top MVP candidate, Christian Yelich, whom the Giants had been containing him pretty well so far in the first 2 games of the series. Now, in the bottom of the 6th inning, he would hit a home run off Tyler Beede, and that would tie the game at 2. But now, as we go to the 7th inning, that is when the Giants erupt. Offensive explosion, guys. Somebody's put an alarm clock, and it sounded off. And I mean, it rang and echoed through that dugout because the bats, they were awake. They were making solid contact. Giants hitters making solid contact out there. So Beede got things started going in that 7th inning with a huge RBI single to make it 3-2. Now, following him was Stephen Vogt, the famous "I believe in Stephen Vogt, I believe in Stephen Vogt." He comes up and knocks an RBI double to extend the Giants' lead, and that makes it 4-2 at that point in the game. And then following him, Brandon Crawford ends up working a bases-loaded walk, and that's huge for Crawford, as same situation with him. He had been struggling a little bit over the past couple weeks, but now we are starting to see Brandon Crawford turn things around with the bat. And I think it's always a good thing when you're able to see some pitches, work some deep counts. And in Crawford's case right here, he was able to work a nice RBI, a walk with the bases loaded. And so with that, guys, that made the score 5-2 at that point. Now, Kevin Pillar, he would come up next with an RBI single to make it 6-2 Giants. And then Mike Yastrzemski, who really has good speed. He makes contact with the ball, and it looks like it's going to be a double play. And the umpire initially calls Yastrzemski out at first, but upon further review, guys, Yastrzemski beat the play, and that would be big because the Giants would get an RBI out of that play. So always, good things happen when you put the ball in play. So nice situational hitting and really nice effort on Yastrzemski, just hustling, doing whatever he can to beat that out. And, the Giants are going to need, they were going to need some insurance runs because we saw what happened yesterday with the bullpen being overworked, and no lead is safe, especially in a hitter's ballpark like Miller Park. So that was huge right there to add another run, make it 7-2. And then Donovan Solano comes up, adds another RBI single in the game for him, and that makes it 8-2 Giants. So now you're just feeling really good. In the bottom of the 7th inning, Lorenzo Cain, he would add an RBI single, and that would make it 8-3 Giants, and the bullpen would hold things down from that point. Derek Holland came in after Tyler Beede, and Derek Holland, he's been pitching much better of late, I believe, coming into the game. In his last 10 outings, guys, or 10 innings pitch, I should say, he's only allowed 1 earned run for Derek Holland. So in the game, he went an inning, he allowed a hit, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. See, he's got a 5.65 ERA on the year. He has been whittling that down. So, again, excellent for Holland to see him pitching very well of late. Mark Melancon would come in. The struggles have been coming for Melancon. He's been struggling of late. But a nice outing today as he went an inning and a third, got a strikeout, and lowered that ERA to 4.15. Now, guys, the Giants with that huge series victory, that makes them 4.5 games out of that second wild card behind the Philadelphia Phillies. And now we are going to be going to Colorado as we look ahead to the future, to the San Francisco Giants' next game in Denver, Colorado, a 4-game series versus the Rockies. Now, one of those games is going to be played as part of a doubleheader tomorrow, as the Giants are making up a game that had got rained out from May 8th. And so in that first game, guys, the Giants are going to send right-hander Jeff Samardzija, who is 6-7 on the year, the 4.01 ERA, and 80 strikeouts on the year. Samardzija having a really great season. His last 2 outings, Samardzija is 2-0 with a 1.20 ERA. And his most recent start came against the St. Louis Cardinals. It was at Oracle Park. It was the final game of the first half, and Samardzija dealt in that one, going 7 shutout innings against the Cardinals. Again, they got a very formidable lineup there, and they've been a good team, always putting good players, coming out of that organization. So, it's always going to be a fight when you battle the Cardinals. So it's going to be a good one. And the Giants are going to be opposing German Marquez from the Rockies. Marquez almost had no hit the Giants earlier in the year, so you're going to look to see the Giants hitters hopefully make some big-time adjustments. The offense has been hitting so well of late, and we definitely look hopefully for that to continue in Colorado, another big-time hitter-friendly ballpark. And what more, a nice, good backdrop. That's one of the things about Miller Park. They have a good backdrop there, and so, good hitters background to see. And so this Giants offense, guys, we just need to keep it going, keep that momentum flowing. They've been doing some big-time things out here. And in the second game of this doubleheader, the Giants are going to be sending Derek Rodriguez to the mound. He is 3-5 with a 5.27 ERA and 36 strikeouts on the year. Now, the story of Rodriguez this season is that starting the year, he started in the Giants rotation, and that was after having a really excellent rookie year last year, pitching out of the rotation with a sub-3 ERA, under 3. Now, he did struggle a lot this year, and so that led to him getting sent down to AAA to kind of work on some things. And so in his last start, he made a start down in Class A San Jose. It was last Wednesday, and for Derek Rodriguez, he went 4 2/3 innings in that start, allowing 2 earned runs. So I definitely look for this could be a really big game for Rodriguez to show the Giants that, he definitely deserves a spot in the rotation, something that I think he is going to prove his value and prove his worth. And so that is going to be a good one to see also. It's always fun when we got two baseball games in one day. I can remember a famous doubleheader, not famous I should say, but a doubleheader back in 2013. And it was interesting because the Giants were making up a road game versus the Reds at, Oracle Park. And so the Giants were playing at Oracle Park, but they were wearing their road jerseys because they were technically the visiting team because it was a makeup game in which the Reds were the home team. So if that makes any sense, but yeah, it was fascinating. And the Rockies, so they haven't even announced a starter for the second game. So again, sometimes these decisions come very last, up into the next day, but we will find that out shortly. But it is going to be exciting. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to smash that like button. I very much appreciate all the feedback from you guys and all the comments. I love to read them. I love to interact with you guys. It's always interesting to hear your thoughts. And comment down below. I'd love to hear your opinion and your perspective. What are your guys' thoughts on the series versus the Brewers, the offense coming alive, and even coming so close yesterday and, winning that game? This very well could have been a sweep for the Giants, but they are just playing such a hot brand of baseball right now. Knock on wood that we keep this momentum going. In Bruce Bochy's last year, the Giants can make a run at that last wild card spot. Do it for Bruce Bochy. And so I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on all of that. And also, what do you think is going to happen with that July 31st trade deadline? Are the Giants moving into buyers territory, or should they still remain sellers? That is the question we all ask. And in the coming days, we will see, depending on how the Giants play, will they be buyers or sellers? So let me know, guys. And also, who could they trade? I mean, it's likely to be Will Smitty, our big-time closer, or it could be Sam Dyson or Tony Watson. Some of these nice setup pitchers that we got out of the bullpen. And again, I really hope that Bumgarner is not going to be traded. I do not believe, my gut says it's not going to happen, and I'm thinking in a positive perspective, because I just really want Bumgarner to be able to spend his entire career with the Giants, just like how Matt Cain did. That was a phenomenal story there. But again, we'll see, because the Giants, I think they will make the move if the value in return is substantial enough, to make a deal like that actually come to fruition. So until next time, guys, I will see you again. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.